Welcome yourself into yourself. And I think that one of the most powerful tools that we can have in our toolbox is the tool of self-soothe and nourishment. Taking the time to feel good in your own body. Oxygenating every muscle with your breath. By breathing through your nose deep into your belly in a slow, deep breath. And then slowly exhaling, controlling the breath, breathing through your nose and relaxing your body as you exhale. Inhale again. And slowly exhale. Inhale. And slowly exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Continue breathing slow, deep breaths. And start rolling your shoulders backwards for 3, 2, and 1. And then elbows are rolling backwards. 3, 2, and 1. Arms straight up and back. 3, 2, and 1. Crossing and opening your arms slowly. Squeezing the shoulder blades back and squeezing the pectorals in. Squeezing the shoulder blades back, squeezing the pectorals in. Squeezing the shoulder blades back, squeezing the pectorals in. Squeezing the shoulder blades back, squeezing the pectorals in. One more time, squeezing the shoulder blades back, squeezing the pectorals in, and then clasping your hands behind your back, pulling your hands to the floor, lifting your sternum, and take your right ear to your right shoulder. And then your left ear to your left shoulder. And again, right ear to your right shoulder, leaning back into the back of your neck, tucking in your chin just slightly. And then over to the other side, leaning into the back of your neck, tucking your chin just slightly. And then coming back to center, pulling your hands down, squeezing your shoulder blades together, lifting your sternum, and then lengthening your lower back by tucking in the bottom of your rib cage. Turn your head to the right. Turn your head to the left. Come back to center. Take your right ear to your right shoulder. Keep your head tilted to the right. Rotate your chin down to your right shoulder and up to the ceiling. Down to your right shoulder, up to the ceiling. Come back to center. Tilt your head to the left. Rotate your chin to your left shoulder. Up to the ceiling. Down to your right left shoulder. Up to the ceiling. One more time. Down. And up. Come back to center. Release your arms and open your arms out in a T at shoulder height. Rolling your shoulders backwards for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then rolling them forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reach your arms up over your shoulders and stretch your shoulder blades off your back, pushing your arms up with your shoulder blades. And then relaxing your arms at your side, gentle twist to your right. And gentle twist to your left. Again, gentle twist to your right. Gentle twist to your left. Come back to center, opening through your side body. Over to the other side. And again, over to your side. And then reach that left arm back, face your chest to the ceiling. And then reach that arm forward, face your chest to the floor. Reach your left arm back, facing your chest to the ceiling. And look down to the floor, twisting your ribs, open and close, reaching back and twisting forward. And one more time, reaching back and twisting forward, taking your left hand either to your right thigh or onto the floor. Push down into your left hip and look over your right shoulder. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And then slowly come back to center. Imagine there's a marker on the top of your head and we're doing circles with our head for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, other way, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to reach our shoulders over to your left, reaching your right arm up and over. And then reach that right arm way back, face your chest to the ceiling. And then bring that arm forward, twisting your chest to face the floor. Inhale, open up and back. Exhale, rounding forward. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, rounding forward. One more time, inhale, up and back. And exhale, rounding forward. Plant that right hand either on your left thigh or on the floor. Push down into your right hip and look over your left shoulder. And slowly come back to center. Again, doing circles with our head for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, other way, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Turn your head to the right. Turn your head to the left. Come back to center, round your back, taking your hands to your knees, tuck in your tailbone and your chin. And then arch your back. Tailbone back, lift your sternum, open your exhale, round your back, tuck in your chin. And inhale, arch your back, opening your throat. And then come back to center, release your arms to your side, push your rib cage out to your left, and feel a little stretch going through that right hip. And then push your rib cage out to your right and feel that going into the nook of your left hip. We're going to do that again. Push your ribs as far out to your left as possible, rooting down into the right hip. Keep reaching that rib cage over. Maybe walk your left hand over and try to push your ribs as far over as possible. And then we're going to turn our ribs, and wherever that right hand can go, if it can touch the floor, we're going to open that rib cage, walking your left hand forward. Keep rooting down into your right hip. Turn your head to look over your right shoulder. Slowly come back to center and back to your neutral spine position. Push your rib cage as far out to your right as possible. Take your right hand to the floor, root straight down into that left sits bone. Reach your ribs over a little further, see if you can get deep into the muscles that go from our back into our pelvis. And then start reaching that left arm back behind you, twisting your ribs, whatever you can do. If you can touch the floor or not, doesn't matter. Just keep rooting down into the left hip and twisting the ribs and opening it back. And then slowly bring your arm back, bring your head back, and neutral spine. So that goes into the SI joints and the psoas. So gentle twist to your right. Gentle twist to your left. Back to center, rounding your back. And arching your back. And coming back to center. You're going to step your left foot forward. And then you're going to lean into your left thigh. You could remove your block if you like. And just stretch out your calf. Good. And then you're going to take that left foot back. You're going to step your right foot forward and then lean into your right thigh with your chest, stretching out your right calf. And then make sure that both your blocks are close enough at the top of your mat. And let's move into a standing forward fold with your ankles about 6 inches apart. And you can have your knees bent if your hips or lower back is tight, clasping your opposite hand to your opposite elbow. And just hanging down over your legs. Let your head get heavy, just turning your head from side to side. And move your ribs from side to side. Maybe twist your ribs a little bit. And slowly bend and straighten one leg at a time, keeping your heels on the ground so that the bend is really coming with the knees and the sacral spine. Just bending and straightening and bending and straightening and bending and straightening. And then relax your hands towards the floor. Walk both hands to the outside of your right foot. Pull your left hip back. And exhale back to center. Inhale both hands to the outside of your left foot, pulling your right hip back. And exhale back to center. Place your hands on your knees or your thighs and inhale, lengthen into a flat back, keeping the back of your neck long. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale again into a flat back. This time we're going to grab onto our blocks. Keeping the back of your neck nice and long. We're going to extend through that left leg, keeping your left heel lifting up to the ceiling, foot flex. Drop the left hip and then lift the left hip. Slowly drop the left hip and then slowly lift the left hip. I'm going to do 2 more. Drop the left hip and then lift the left hip. Last one, drop the left hip and then lift the left hip. Drop the left hip and take your left foot to the floor. Ankles and hips in alignment and forward fold. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Inhale, lengthen into a flat back. And lift your right leg up, flexing through your right heel. Lift that right hip up and back. And slowly drop the right hip down. Open that right hip up and back. And slowly drop that right hip down. Lift it up. And drop it down. And one more time, lift it up. And drop it down. And take your right foot to the floor. And forward fold. We're going to open our ankles 6 inches, shoulder width apart with your toes out, heels slightly in. If you need a block, place a block behind you. And then we're going to slowly drop your hips all the way down, either to the block or to the floor. Keep your spine rounded. Hold here for another big breath. And then slowly lift your hips, squeezing your hip muscles together. Lift with the hip muscles and forward fold. And then lengthen into a flat back, bending the knees. Keep the knees directly over the ankles with your thighs parallel with the floor. You could keep your hands on blocks if that's so helpful. Or you could lift your hands to your knees and lift your chest if that's okay. And we're going to drop our hips and lift our hips 3 inches. Drop and lift, squeezing with the inner thighs. Drop and lift. Drop and lift. One more time. Drop and lift. And then we're going to lift our chest up. We're going to take our hands behind our head. We're going to keep our knees parallel and keep your knees deeply bent. We're going to hinge forward, and then you're going to squeeze your butt to lift up. Hinge forward. Squeeze your butt to lift up. Hinge forward. Squeeze all the muscles in your butt and your lower, like the muscles under your butt also to lift. Hinge, pushing your hips back, and then squeeze with your inner thighs and your butt. 4 more. Bend, hinge forward, squeeze and lift. Bend, hinge forward, and squeeze and lift. 2 more. Bend, and squeeze and lift. Last one. Bend, squeeze and lift. And then we're going to open our legs even wider. Knees out. Toes out, heels in, pushing your knees out and slowly sinking down. And so what we want to think about is these muscles in our inner thighs and inner hamstrings really engaging. And so the way to do that is to tuck the tailbone under and pull in the bottom part of the rib cage, pulling your belly button up. All right, sink a little lower. And if you want to add in, your arms can go up. And then sink a little lower. Push your knees out. Sink a little lower. Push your knees out. Sink a little lower. Push your knees out as hard as you can. Flex your fingers and push your hands back for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then lengthen through both legs. Turn both feet straight forward and then hinge at your hips. Lifting your tailbone, lengthen into a flat back. Hold here. And then we're going to bend into your left knee. Straighten. Bend into your right knee. Straighten. Bend into your left knee. Straighten. Bend into your right knee. Straighten. Bend into your left knee. Straighten. Bend into your right knee. Straighten. One more. Left. Straighten. Right. Straighten. And hinge back up to a standing position. Then we're going to turn our right foot to face one end of your mat. Now we're going to walk that foot so that if you were to bend your knee, you would come into your warrior 2 legs. And we're going to slowly lift and bend. Lift and bend. And so when you bend and lift, think about using these muscles at the top of your leg rather than feeling like you're using the joint of your knee. So lift with the hips and the legs muscles and bend slowly, going deep into those muscles. We're going to do 2 more. Lift with the hip muscles and bend with the hip muscles. 1 more. Lift with the hip muscles and bend with the hip muscles. Then we're going to hold and open both arms. Rest your gaze 6 inches in front of your left extended fingertips. Settling into your pose deeper and deeper with every exhale. One more big breath. And then straighten that leg, turn your foot back to the center. And now let's turn that right foot to the other end of your mat and bend into that right knee and then squeeze your hip muscles to lift up. Use the hip muscles to drop into that thigh and then use the muscles to lift up out of the thigh. Hip muscles are doing the movement. Glutes are tight. Bend and use the glutes to lift up. Bend. Use the glutes to lift up. Bend. Squeeze your glutes to lift up. Bend. Use that butt muscle to lift. And 2 more. 1. Last 1, 2. And we're going to rest into that position, going as deep into that pose as we can. And then opening through the arms, resting your gaze 6 inches in front of your right fingertips and breathing as you sink into your thighs. And then slowly come up, turning both feet to face forward. And now we're going to take our heels out, toes in, getting pigeon-toed. And we're going to hinge at our hips. You could keep your hands on your legs. You could take your hands to the blocks. Try to maintain a flat back, so however you can do that. Opening your collarbone nice and wide. Think about lifting your tailbone. Lean into the outside of your feet, lift your inner arches. And then we're going to walk our left hand towards our left foot, reaching your right arm straight overhead opening through that whole right side of your body, lifting your tailbone. And then let's take your right hand to the floor beside your left foot or to the outside of your left ankle or calf. And then your right hand's going to either go to your lower back or reach it up towards the ceiling. And let's take both hands back to the floor, lengthening into a flat back, lifting your tailbone, leaning into the outside of the feet. Walk your right hand towards your right foot, reaching your left arm as far over to the right as possible. Hips are square, tailbone is lifting. And then take your left hand either to the floor in front of your right foot, to your ankle or your calf. Slowly twisting the left side of your ribs to the right, and either take your right hand to your lower back or reach it up towards the ceiling. Keep your hips square, keep leaning into the outside of your feet, keep breathing deeply. And then slowly come back to center and lengthen into a flat back, focusing on lifting your tailbone. Breathing deeply. And then we're going to step both feet to the top of your mat and come back into our forward fold with our ankles 6 inches apart, clasping your opposite hand to your opposite elbow and hang down over your legs. Let's clasp our hands together behind our back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, tuck in your chin, and reach your arms up and over your head. And then release both hands to your mat. Let's open our feet again, dropping our hips back into our malasana or your crouching pose, whether your heels can reach the floor or not, whether you're sitting on a block, just focus on the rounding forward of the spine, tucking in your chin. And then slowly lengthening, if you can, bring your elbows between your knees. And then we're going to slowly drop our hips to the floor. Let's bring your shins parallel to the mat with your arms parallel with the shins, if that's possible. And then we're going to lift your right leg up, bend, left leg up, bend, right leg up, bend, left leg up, bend, and right, and left, and right, and left. This helps with the muscles around the knees and the stomach. 3 more. 1, up, 2, up, and last one, 3, up, and slowly curl down. We're going to open our ankles wider than our hips with your knees bent, arms open, and slowly rock your knees to the right, head to the left. Knees to the left, head to the right. Knees to the right, head to the left. And knees to the left, head to the right. It's nice and easy, slowing down the nervous system, slowing down your breath. Coming back to center, let's hug both knees into your chest. And then come into happy baby pose. Good, and then release both feet back to the floor. This time knees and ankles 6 inches apart. You can either put a block between your knees. We're going into our bridge pose. So what I would suggest is taking a block and putting the narrowest part of it between your thighs. Palms face down beside your hips, and let's lift our hips into bridge 10 times, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's hold it up here, squeezing that block between your inner thighs if you have it. Push your arms into the floor and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release your hips to the floor. Take your left ankle onto your right knee and hug your right thigh into your chest. One more big breath. And then let's take your legs to the right, planting that left foot on the floor and twisting your head and shoulders to look over your left shoulder. Push that left foot down into the floor, creating some integrity in that whole left leg and hip. And then you can twist your shoulders and feel that whole psoas piriformis connection. And then roll onto your back. Hug both knees into your chest. Take your right ankle onto your left knee and hug your left thigh into your chest. Notice your breath. Notice yourself. Notice how your body feels. Keep internalizing your attention. Feeding yourself with your own attention. And then take your right foot to the floor on your left. Push that right foot down into the floor and then twist your head and shoulders to the right. Big breath in. Big breath out. One more big breath. And then roll onto your back and hug both knees into your chest. Taking both feet to the floor, palms face down beside your hips, tuck your shoulders under. We're going to lift our hips as high up as we possibly can. And then if you like, clasp your hands together, push your arms into the floor and either stay here or lift your right leg up to the ceiling and down parallel to your left knee 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Take both feet to the floor, drop your hips. Take your left ankle onto your right knee, pull your right thigh into your chest. Big breath in. Big breath out. Release, both feet to the floor, lift your hips, clasp your hands together, push your arms into the floor, left side 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take it down. Right ankle onto your left thigh. Hug your left thigh into your chest. Release, and then let's roll onto your stomach. Starting by opening your arms out in a T at shoulder height. We're going to lift our left leg up, bend the knee, and reach that left foot as far over to the right as possible. And then take that leg back to center, rolling onto your stomach. Lift your right leg up, bend the knee, and roll onto your left side, opening that right knee, and then roll onto your stomach, and come back to a neutral position. Lift your left leg up, bend, and roll over to your right side, and then back to center. Lift your right leg up, bend, and over to your left side, and back to center. One more time, lift your left leg up, bend the knee, open up and back, roll onto your stomach, lift your right leg bent, roll onto your left side, and then come back to center. Bring your arms underneath your shoulders, bring your knees together and your feet together. Hands under your shoulders, elbows in tight. We're gonna lift our legs and lift our chest, and then slowly drop down. Inhale, lift up, and 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 slowly drop down. 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then just lie down, bend your knees, or rock your feet from side to side. Release your feet to the floor. Extend your arms out. Lift your legs and lift your arms and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then bring your legs together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax, bend your knees and rock your feet from side to side. And then drop both legs. And we're going to do that again. So lifting your arms and legs. And this time we're going to pull our elbows in and out as we bring our legs together. So in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Relax, bend, and rock. And we're going to roll onto our back again. Grabbing onto a block. In between your ankles, squeeze that block tight, palms face down beside your hips, circles. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, other way. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Grab that block, feet to the floor, lift your hips, placing that block underneath your hips, and lift both legs up towards the ceiling. And just pause here. Just relax. Have your palms face up, tuck your shoulders under. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And either stay here, or let's drop our legs as wide open as possible, flexing through your feet, keeping your hips well balanced on your block. And then slight point in the toes and little circles. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, other way. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to slowly bring our legs together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then open. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Flex your right foot, walk your hands up that right leg, and pull that right leg towards your right shoulder. And then once you've got that right leg as close to your body as you can comfortably get it, let your left leg just drop. So the goal is not to get that leg to the floor. The goal is to keep the left leg straight and really focus on the right leg. Big breath in. Big breath out. Big breath in. Now let's slowly start opening your right leg slightly out to the right. Keep your hips square on your block. And then bring that right leg back to center. Take your left hand to your right leg and pull that right leg to the left, keeping both legs straight. Hips well balanced on your block. Come back to center and take both legs back over your hips. Flex your left foot, walk your hands up your left leg, focus on that left leg, moving towards your left shoulder. And once you feel like you've gotten that left leg as close to your left shoulder as you can get it, then drop the right leg, keeping it straight. Big breath in. Big breath out. And slowly take that left leg slightly out to the left. And then bring that left leg back to center and take it over to the right, keeping your hips well balanced on the block. And then come back to center with both legs and rotate your ankles for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The other way, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep your hips balanced on your block. Let your knees just drop into your chest, lifting your tailbone. Big breath in. Big breath out. And slowly take your feet to the floor. Bring the bottoms of your feet together with your knees dropping open, palms face up, tuck your shoulders under, close your eyes and just relax into the rhythm of your breath. And then slowly bring your knees back together. Extend both legs down your mat. And if that feels okay for you, you could reach your arms over your head, suck your belly in towards your ribs, get a big stretch through your stomach. And then bend both knees. Remove your block and rock your knees from side to side. Back to center, extend your right leg down your mat, hug your left knee into your chest. And then release, take your left foot to your right knee and take that left knee across your body into a spinal twist, reaching your left arm back behind you parallel with your shoulder. Turn your head to the left as you twist your hips to the right. Roll onto your back. Hug that left knee into your chest. And take it down your mat. Hug your right knee into your chest. And then take your right foot to your left knee and right knee rotates to your left. Moving into your spinal twist. Reach your right arm back behind you, turn your head to the right as you twist your hips to the left. Big breath in through the nose. Exhale, relax into your twist. Close your eyes. Roll onto your back. Hug both knees into your chest. And release both legs to your mat into your Shavasana. Palms face up, tuck your shoulders under, lengthen through your neck. Maybe rock your head from side to side a couple of times. And then come back to center. Close your eyes. And nourish yourself with your own attention, with your own breath, with your own time and effort put into this moment. Don't let your mind wander anywhere outside of the space around your body. Stay focused. Breathe deeply and relax every muscle in your body. And then slowly bend both knees. Roll onto your right side. Pause here. And then slowly sit up to a comfortable position with your eyes closed and seal your practice with 1 minute of meditation. Body relaxed, mind focused on your breath. With the inhale, say just, and with the exhale, say be, and just be with your breath. Just be the watcher watching your breath. Just be the awareness around each breath. And then thank yourself for all that you are. Stay. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Lots of love.